The Star in the Tarot. The Star is the 17th Major Arcana card in most traditional tarot decks. According to some astrologers, the card is arguably the most positive one in the entire deck. About the only common feature of all the star cards is the existence of one large star, but even then its position and shape may be different. The star may be overhead, as in this Rider Waite design card. In this case it has 8 points. It may be very close, so that the person looks almost as though they are holding it, as in this lovely Alphonse Mucha inspired tarot. There are even cards where the star is connected to the person by a cord, as in this card by Light Seers. Or you may find the same star, untethered but shooting skywards, as in Salvador Dali's unusual card, incorporating lots of spiralling spinning objects. But even when the main figure is not a person, in this case it is a cat, because this is the cat tarot, the star is the main feature. As such, it is the meaning of this star we are meant to concentrate on, and the Mucha Tarot Guide, which comes with the deck, provides a good summary of its meaning. Lunea Weatherstone, the Mucha Tarot. There are nights so diamond clear that it seems as if the stars are close enough to reach out and touch. Capture starlight in your hands and see your own brilliance shimmering there. Let doubt fall away, all the petty cares of the earthly path. The star tells a story of eternity that reaches far beyond any one lifetime. All is well, and all will be well. Believe in the rightness of your place in the universe. Your psyche has a unique destiny to fulfill, foretold in the stars. Searching for this destiny is your quest, the quest of each person who takes mortal form. The star that guides each of us shines the light of hope, faith, and infinite trust. This is the great truth. Whatever you truly need will always be given. Every part of your being is made of stardust, and you can never be separated from the cosmic dance of creation. And we could almost leave it there. Follow your guiding star to your destiny, and the universe will provide. But it may help to know something of the thinking behind the other symbols in some of the better known cards. The Rider Waite Tarot Design. Arthur Edward Waite, shown here with his illustrator Pamela Coleman Smith, were members of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. They produced the Rider Waite Tarot deck, published by the Rider Company in 1909. It is estimated that more than 100 million copies of the deck exist in more than 20 countries, and the design of their cards became very influential, with some of their additional symbols being widely copied. It would be wrong to add any other interpretation to his card than A.E. Waite's himself, so this is the description from the deck itself. Arthur Edward Waite, the Rider Waite Tarot Deck, the Star. The Star card is symbolic of renewal, faith, and spirituality. It shows a naked woman pouring water out of 2 vessels to continue the natural cycle of fertility There is a large star in the background with 7 smaller stars, each of which represent the chakras. Note that this is Waite's own card. The star represents a time of personal growth as one develops a renewed appreciation for their blessings. But the 7 additional stars were used in much earlier decks than the Rider Waite one, and were then said to be the planets. This is the star from the Jean-Noblet-pack of the mid-1600s, and this is the star of Jean Dyalla of the 1700s, and this the Tarot of Marseille of around 1800s. There again, this L'Étoile from the northern French tarot of Jacques Viéville, about 1650, only has 4 stars, rather indicating the symbolism is not common. Do these extra stars carry any real meaning, or are they just a diversion, leading us away from the only real symbol of importance, the star itself? After all, in the Visconti Sforza Tarot of the 15th century, the lady is not naked and has only 1 star, close enough for her to touch. Aleister Crowley's star card. Aleister Crowley's star card, as one would expect, is unique, like him. It has 1 spiralling star sending its beams down to another spiralling pink-mauve coloured star. The lady is blue, the colour of water. Spirit. Aleister Crowley. Book of Thoth. The picture represents Wirth, Our Lady of the Stars. For the full meaning of this sentence, it is necessary to understand the first chapter of the Book of the Law. The Book of the Law was received in 1904 by Aleister Crowley when in Egypt. In other words, it is his own revelation. Wirth is based on the ancient Egyptian sky goddess Nut, who arches over her husband-brother Geb, the earth god. She is usually depicted as a naked woman who is covered with stars. But Crowley continues. The figure of the goddess is shown in manifestation, that is, not as the surrounding space of heaven, shown in A2 20, where she is the pure philosophical idea, continuous and omniform. Card 20, in practically all the other cards, is judgment. Crowley again. In this card, she is definitely personified as a human-seeming figure. She is represented as bearing 2 cups, one golden held high above her head, from which she pours water upon it. And we might be forgiven for dismissing this as the ramblings of a loony, except for one key sentence in the Book of the Law, Liber al vel legis, which is, every man and every woman is a star. It is a sentence echoed in the works of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry in his book Le Petit Prince. We each have our own star. In effect, the star is the higher spirit, the Atman, the Buddha nature, the Holy Spirit, that part of us that is immortal. See a video, How to Get to Heaven, a Higher Spirit. We have frequently mentioned this when we had described the hourglass and how this higher spirit communicates with our subconscious mind via spirit input. Crowley, however, was more specific. He saw that the input from the golden chalice came from beyond the mind and first reached the higher spirit. But the spirit input from the silver chalice was delivered by the higher spirit and delivered to our subconscious mind. In effect, Crowley's lady is our higher spirit. The mauve pink is symbolically that of the Sahasrara chakra. The nature of the illustration implies lack of movement, but Salvador Dali, in his apparently eccentric card, saw each one of us as a potential hero figure with our own star, shooting about, gathering wisdom. Crowley also listed almost every single corresponding symbol for spirit input, whether from beyond the mind or to our perceived function. For example, he lists water, milk, oil, blood, Amrita of the Indian philosophers, Nepenthe, ambrosia of the Greeks, the alkahest and universal medicine of the alchemists, nectar, to which we could add honey. See the video on bees and honey. Aleister Crowley's card also specifically shows this higher spirit to be spirit invisible, as our apparently immaterial self is shown as crystals, which this time is both figurative and literal. We are indeed made of crystals. Aleister Crowley. It is only in the lower cup that the forms of energy issuing forth show rectilinear characteristics. In this may be discovered the doctrine which asserts that the blindness of humanity to all the beauty and wonder of the universe is due to this illusion of straightness. It is significant that Riemann, Bolyai, and Lebachevsky seem to have been the mathematical prophets of the new revelation. Any other symbols worthy of note? Oswald Wirth and Stanislas de Guaita's card for the star was created in 1889 and known as Les 22 Arcanes du Tarot Kabbalistique. There is thus a link here to the Kabbalah and the Sephirot. The Sephirot has both named stages, Yesod, Hesod, Binah, Keter, etc., and Wikipedia gives each of the paths a Hebrew letter, and a letter is used in the Oswald Wirth card, and it is this one. This letter is found between Hod and Gevura in the Wikipedia diagram. It is found on Wirth's card within the label to the right. But is Wikipedia's system of labelling the same as Wirth's? And does the letter on this diagram equate with the one Wirth uses? Aleister Crowley used a different letter, rather indicating we cannot rely on this symbol, as it clearly meant something different to each person. Overall, we return to the meaning described right at the beginning of the video, but with a few helpful additions provided by Aleister Crowley. The star is the state we are in after annihilation on the spiritual path, symbolically dawn, and after we have enjoyed the initial thrill of being an enlightened being, described by the World Tarot card, 21. It describes a state where we start to act as a seer, fulfilling our destiny in whatever role we were given to play, collecting wisdom in whatever form it comes from other spirit entities or from sources unknown as either data or functions. And Aleister Crowley called this the Golden Cup. We then distribute it via our higher spirit as spirit input to the perceptions of a person in the mundane world. And Crowley called this the Silver Cup.